All right, let's just dive straight in. We're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden engine that powers pretty much every modern website. The thing that brings all that live, up-to-the-minute information right to your screen.
You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling your social feed and new posts just magically appear. Or you check a weather app and it shows you the temperature for right now. How does that happen? How does a web page, which is basically just a static document, tap into this non-stop stream of live data from all over the world?
Well, here's the secret. It's not magic at all. It's actually a conversation. Your web browser is constantly talking to other computers or servers all across the internet. And in this explainer, we're going to learn the exact language of that conversation.
Okay, so first things first, we need to really understand the problem we're trying to solve here. See, on one side, you've got your web page. By itself, it's just kind of sitting there. It's static. It has no idea what the latest news is or who just commented on your photo. Then, on the other side, you have a server with an API. Just think of an API as the friendly front desk for all the service data. Our page is over here, and all that amazing live data is way over there. They're totally separate.
So how do we bridge that gap? How do we connect those two worlds? Well, we need a messenger. We need a tool that's built right into our browsers, ready to carry requests and bring back data. And that messenger has a name: Fetch. So in more technical terms, Fetch is just a JavaScript function for making these network requests. Think of it like a built-in postal service for your browser. You can use it to ask for data, that's what we call a GET request, or to send new data, like a POST request. And that keyword, asynchronously, that's super important. It just means Fetch does its job in the background, so it doesn't freeze up your entire web page while it's waiting for the mail to arrive. And what's really cool is that every single Fetch conversation follows these same 4 basic steps. It's like a recipe. First, you make the request. That's you sending the letter. Then you receive a response. Now, this isn't the data itself. It's more like the delivery notification, the sealed package. Step 3 is where you actually open that package and process the data inside. And finally, step 4 is just handling errors. Having a plan for what to do if the package gets lost.
Let's zoom in on the most common thing you'll ever do with this: just asking for information from a server.
This is Fetch in its absolute simplest form. You just call it and give it the URL, the address of the data you're looking for. This example URL here points to a public test API, which is kind of like a practice server, and it specifically asks for a list of users. It's literally just like typing a web address into your browser, but we're doing it with our code. And this piece of code, it shows that 4-step flow perfectly. It works like a chain of events. First, Fetch makes the request. Then, once the server responds, we use .json to unwrap that response and get the data into a clean format. Then, with that clean data finally ready, we can actually use it on our page. See how each step only runs after the one before it succeeds? And that last part, .catch, that's our safety net. It's there to handle any network problems if something goes wrong.
Okay, but getting data is only half the story. What if we don't want to just get data? What if we need to send new information to the server, like when you submit a form or create a new user account? I absolutely love this analogy. A GET request asks for the menu. A POST request places a custom order. It's perfect, right? GET is passive. You're just looking at what's available. POST is active. You're sending specific information to the server and asking it to create something new for you.
So, to place that custom order, we just have to give Fetch a few more details. We have to explicitly tell it that the method is POST. We include headers, which are like a label on the outside of the package, telling the server, hey, the stuff inside this box is in JSON format. And finally, the body is the package itself. It holds the actual information we're sending, all nicely bundled up.
All right, theory is great, but let's actually see how this all comes together to build something real. We're going to create a simple employee directory.
So this is where we're starting. A basic HTML page with a search box and an empty container. It's static, it's kind of boring. Our goal is to use Fetch to fill this page up with a list of employees from our API.
And it all kicks off with this. Believe it or not, the heart of the entire operation is this one single line of code. We call Fetch and we point it to our employee data. This one command starts the whole conversation that's going to bring our application to life.
So once we get that data back from the server, which is just going to be a big list of employees, we can loop through it. For every single employee in that list, we'll dynamically create a new little card with their name, email, and phone number, and then just pop it onto our page.
And boom, just like that, here's the result. What was a completely empty, static page is now a living, dynamic application. And the key is, none of this information was hard-coded. It was all requested from a server, delivered across the internet, and built in real time right in the browser. And because we now have all that employee data stored right in the browser, we can easily add powerful features, like a live search filter. We just listen for when someone types, filter our local copy of the data, and redraw the list instantly. And notice, this is the really cool part. We don't have to talk to the server again. The data is already ours to play with.
Look, if you take only one thing away from this entire explainer, please let it be this. Fetch is what turns a static document into a dynamic application. It is the essential bridge that connects your isolated web page to the massive, always changing universe of data out there on the internet.
So you now understand the basic language browsers use to have these conversations online. You know how to ask for information, and you know how to send it. The only question left is, what amazing things are you going to build with it?